2大アクションパズルゲーム頂上決戦が任天堂スイッチ2に登場。ぷよぷよテトリス 2S。
Wait! Before you say another word, Javert! Before you chain me up a slave again! So, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. We're getting a new Puyo Puyo Tetris game. Yay! Are we really that excited about it? Questionable. Questionable. I think, you know, I love that Puyo and Tetris games are being made, but really, we already have a Puyo Puyo Tetris game. In fact, we have 2 games, and I would say my biggest gripe about the games is that they're not cross-platform, and they don't have a lot of settings to be able to change things sometimes, and being able to try to balance the game if you feel like the game might be unbalanced. There's some settings for that, but I do think it could be better if we could change like the speeds of the drops and just different stuff like that to be able to try to make more balanced gameplay for different types of players, because I do think there does seem to be a disparity in different types of players. I did bite my tongue, but there is, I would say, at certain levels, there's just different levels of people that are playing. If I see people playing and they don't know what Tetris is, and they don't know what Puyo is, the Puyo player is going to just destroy the Tetris player. It's just, that's the way it goes, because you do something minor in Puyo and it will raise up the Tetris side, and if the Tetris person is struggling to clear lines, they're gonna have a hard time, and it will just be unbalanced, and they'll want to play the Puyo side, which, that's good if you're trying to get people to play Puyo, yeah, sure. Seems fun. Now, if people know Tetris a little bit and people know Puyo a little bit, let's say where they played Dr. Robotnik's back when they were a child, and the Tetris side, maybe you might know of some ideas about doing Tetrises, and you know how to clear lines, I feel like you'll have a potentially like never-ending game, and so that the mechanics there should be a little different. And then as you go higher, where, you know, people have played all of the Puyo games and they know all of the ideas, and people have played all of the Tetris games and they know all of the ideas, T-spins, 4 wides, all that stuff. Is it balanced then? No. Really, there's so much delay on the Puyo side, and really there's just so many different styles of games that, you know, it could be worked on. I feel like it would be hard to ever mesh the two completely together. I get that. I think if you had them where you can have different styles of play, that could make it more interesting. And we're getting the next installment of Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Firstly, what does the S mean? Did I miss that? Is it special? Is it super? Is it Switch? Is it... I don't know. It could be anything. They haven't really talked about it, so that's very strange. You know, maybe it's something that's more obvious to people that are from Japan, but I know that there was some things about Puyo Puyo Tetris S being what it was called in Japan, and that was for Switch. This is the Switch 2. I guess it's Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, but shouldn't it be S2? Shout out S2. But anyway, yeah, so that's strange. If you guys know what the point of S or the POS is, let me know in the comments. If you know why this game is POS, or what the POS of this game is, feel free to let us know in the comments. Us being the community, of course. But I think those are just some issues that I want to discuss. So one of the things that's really troubling about the Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S is that there hasn't been a Puyo game for consoles since 2016, unless you consider Apple Arcade to be a console, which is very stretching it real nice and tight and thin. They did have that game. It was on Apple Arcade. There had never been a competitive Puyo game on Apple systems. So, you know, you got that. I don't know why you didn't have it for Android, why it has to be part of Apple Arcade only. But, you know, you did have something. Some people like that. I don't have an Apple device other than my work phone, and I'm not going to go and put that on there. And I would have to have Apple Arcade anyway, so even if I did have a device, I would want to put it on there. I would not probably get a subscription for one single title, though also they have the Katamari game that's on there that they again haven't had their own game come out since also probably like 2017. No, when was that? 2012? I want to say. I'm gonna look it up right now. Let me see. Katamari series. The last one that they had on console technically was Touch My Katamari, which was in 2011. But yeah, that one is also on the Apple Arcade, so that's cool. Another great franchise that loves Apple Arcade, so maybe I'll have to buy Apple device specifically to play these games for that reason. How much are the Apple devices again? Apple device, or Apple phone. iPhone, yeah. If I get a refurbished one, it's $474, $347 maybe for this 14. Okay, so to play Puyo, the last one on Puyo, I needed to pay $347 plus whatever the Apple Arcade subscription cost is, which is $7 a month. So yeah, that's a lot of money to play a game, but maybe it'll be better with the Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. Let me see, what is the cost of the Switch 2? Price, yeah, okay, $449.99. Okay, maybe the Joy-Cons are less, because I would want to play this game with 4 other people, with them each having a thing. So let's see, Joy-Con price. Oh, $95. Okay, so if I had, and 95 is for 2, so that's good, at least. So if I have 2 for each, so I need 4 people to play the game, right? So let me see, $95, $190, $285, $380, so $380 plus $450. The $380 plus $450 is, you see where I'm going here, man? And then we got the game too. You gotta get the game in addition to that. So we had $450 plus $380 plus, how much is the game now? The game is, well, you know what? Let's say Puyo Tetris 2S price. Okay, maybe this game, it could be different for different people. I don't know if they've released the price. It was $40 for the 2. So let me just see what a Switch game price is. $80. Okay, they took off $20 of what the other games were, so $60. So let's just add $60 to that. Okay, so to play Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S with my friends, that costs $890. I think that might be a little steep for me to play one game with my friends. Maybe you might disagree with me on that. So you might be saying to yourself, hey, Brian, hey, mr.t-spin, what games am I going to play? Right now, I have to have a Switch to play the games with other people because nobody else plays on any other console for some reason. Or maybe you're saying, hey, I'm not going to get a Switch 2 because it's mad expensive and we have all lost our jobs because of Doge in America or whatever is going on. Whatever is the case for you, I do have some suggestions for some games that maybe you might have thought of, some that are adjacent, some that are very not adjacent, but are also in the same kind of category. So here's some ideas of just some things. This is not an exhaustive list. If you don't mind playing on the Switch, you should check out Puyo Champions if you're into the Puyo side, because you could literally play online versus with people on there, and it will be with the Puyo mechanics. Now, they have not put any of the voice actors, so any of the new voice actors that are in that game, and I'm pretty sure in Puyo Puyo Tetris, any new voice actors that are in that game, they're not listed, so you just have to make up who you think the voice actors are and hope that you're right. But anyway, there's also Puyo Versus, which you can mod up and put your own voices in there, but it's on the computer. You can play with other people. It's not as popular as, say, Puyo Champions or something. But hey, you can see a lot of people on there. You could go to the Discords and play on any game console you want with Puyo Puyo Tetris, Puyo Champions, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, and you could link up with people however you want to. Now, if you're into the Tetris side, you know, you could do Tetris Effect Connected, Tetris 99 if you're on the Switch, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, again, it still does exist and people can use it. You could do some of the classic stuff. They had Nol Pomino exists. One of the newer ones is Tetr.io, Tetr.io. That one exists. There's those for your Tetris heads. If you want to kind of go away from Puyo Puyo Tetris and away from Puyo and away from Tetris, maybe there's some more battle-y games that are awesome that you should definitely check out. One is Bomberman, because they definitely make new games that are great that don't have any problems. No, just kidding, don't do that. Instead, check out Lethal League Blaze. This is a great competitive game that revolves around using different angles and stuff and strategizing, and it's very fun, and the competitive scene is great, though there might not be as many people online. There's still people online, but you can find people through the Discords if that's something that you've been enjoying doing, and they still have tournaments and stuff all the time, just like Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 and Puyo Champions have been doing. Thank you, Juice, for doing that, running those. You could also do speed chess if you want to go really far away. Speed chess, you know, just playing chess. You could go to Live Chess, or you can go to chess.com and you can put the time down to 3 minutes, and it's crazy and lots of fun and has similar dynamics of strategizing and seeing what your opponent is doing and doing stuff very quickly. Even if you put it down to 10 minutes, it can still be kind of fast, especially if you're new to chess. And maybe you're saying, hey, I don't want to go and play competitive games anymore. I'm over 30 years old and I have gray hairs in my beard. Maybe you're done with that and you want to do a different kind of game. So maybe some more enjoyable Tetris-y games. There's Drop Duchy that's coming out May 5th. That is very interesting. I have lots of video content on it where you essentially play Tetris, but you're also making cities and battling other empires and trying to create, basically making numbers go up. So if you're into making numbers go up by playing Tetris and creating very beautiful landscapes, try Drop Duchy. If you're into just puzzle games and you want to try something new, maybe you missed this one. Baba Is You is such an amazing puzzle game where you move the rules around as the character. You move the rules around and you get to do whatever you want to, but it's very tricky because they lock off different things, and it's still got that moving block puzzle aesthetic and design. I'm not a really big fan of the block puzzle stuff, but Baba Is You I really enjoyed a whole bunch, so check that out. I do like some of these different games that are coming out. Like I said, I've been playing a bunch of Drop Duchy. Whenever they come out with some new kind of cool strategy games, I'll definitely take a look at them and see what else I can do. I do think anybody in the comments, if you want to chime in and talk about some things that you have pain points about, or if you have some cool game ideas, that would be really great for people that play Puyo Puyo Tetris in the past that want to play something new. I think this is the chance to tell about it. Indie games, especially because, like I said, my channel focuses on indie games, and so many people just do not see cool indie games that come out. I love the game Slice and Dice that came out, and it gets a lot of underappreciated, especially when Balatro came out. People were just like, oh, this game, it's like Balatro, but like this. And there's games that came out like Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers that people were just like, oh, this is a Balatro clone. And it's like, this game came out before Balatro, the demo. So I think the indie games need all of the shout outs they can get. And honestly, Balatro, the team, are really cool. They worked with a lot of different people and they try to raise people up. They even helped Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers and were like, they did it first, they did it first, they did it, not us. So no harshness on them, but definitely like, comment, and subscribe. I've never done a video like this. I got inspiration because I saw Cosmo did a video on this and their video was very interesting. And I thought, why haven't I done a video on this? So I decided to do a video on it too. And like I said, feel free to write in the comments all the things that you like or dislike. If you really hate my beard hairs, if you're like, how dare you keep changing your face style and your hairstyles, I can't keep up, let me know. But I had some fun making this video. And things have been crazy with me recently, just family-wise and different things, but working through it all. And this might be the last video that might be in this room on, because we're got a whole nother room set up that we're setting up. But anyway, again, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for listening to my video.